Good morning. Almost 10 o'clock. On Tuesday, July 27th. Good morning, everyone. We'll wait another moment before we get going with this morning's live stream YouTube yoga. I'm Christine Clardy with Sun and Moon Yoga Studio in Arlington and Fairfax, Virginia. We've been doing live streaming. Well, the studio has. I've only been doing it for these many weeks. But various teachers and the studio have been offering free 30-minute yoga sessions, live streaming. And this week is our last one. We're taking a break in August. You may have received that information already if you come in on other days or look at the other streams, which I highly recommend. A lot of really great stuff. And the content will change and we'll be back. So today is my last day, and then I'll take a break in August. And of course, I was thinking about endings and beginnings and what am I supposed to say? And then I said, you know what? Maybe I'll just hop on the mat and say, there is no plan because I don't know what comes next. But then I didn't do that. So good morning, Susan. Good morning, John. So I did go beyond the whole beginning, ending. An ending is a beginning concept because I'd watched a little bit of the Olympics last night, and I watched gymnastics. I watched Simone Biles. Wow. If you get a chance to look at any of that, whether you're into the Olympics or not, it's amazing what human beings can do and the gifts that they are given. So we probably all know a little bit about the history of the Olympics. And if any of you ever had a Greek mythology phase, or maybe you're still in one, you even know a little bit about the Olympians, the original Olympians, not even the human athlete Olympians, but the Olympians as in Zeus and those folks who fought the Titans way back and won a war against their ancestors, the Titans. And that's how they ended up on the highest peak in the range of the Olympus mountains in Greece. So that range of mountains actually doesn't include just one mountain called Mount Olympus, where the gods ended up living, but it's a whole range of mountains, which was interesting to me because of yoga. And because of this idea of coming to a peak and what happens next. So, of course, if you Google Mount Olympus, you'll find all kinds of crazy, wonderful, amazing things. I thought it was interesting that there is a range of mountains called Olympus. It's not just one. And I liked that a lot. So there are different, in Greece, there are different hills and even villages that are called Olympus. It's not just one peak. It's not just the highest peak, although that's the one that certainly gets the most attention. There's a poet named Mark Nepo that has a wonderful book called The Book of Awakenings, and it has daily readings. You can also get it as a weekly 52 reading kind of thing. Great book, The Book of Awakenings. The poet Mark Nepo says that we carry the summit within us. And I really like that. Everything there is wherever you are, in his poetic way. That's how he says it. We carry the summit within us. In fact, I will read this little snippet. He says, wherever we stop is the summit. Do we simply move on until we can't? And in accepting our humanity, does the peak come to us? Just a little thought on a Tuesday as we wrap up here and take a break for August. Today might be the peak of your morning yoga. You might have an idea of what comes next in the grand scheme of things. But on the mat today, you might have some blocks nearby we will start standing in mountain pose. And as we move through our different shapes, I encourage you to let the summit within you be your guide. We carry the summit within us. How comforting. It's not just one. It's not just the tallest peak of the range. Let's meet at the top of the mat, as mentioned, in mountain pose. Your blocks or the seat of a chair against a wall or a heavy piece of furniture might be available for you. If you know you're a person who needs that, hands might be on your hips as you heel toe your way into feeling a connection on all points of all of your toes and the balls of the feet and the heels. Breathe in. Let your hands come to rest where they will. Maybe they stay on your hips. You might bring them to heart center. In traditional mountain pose, we unfurl the arms, relaxing the shoulders and letting the palms energize and radiate forward with some aliveness in the thighs and the low belly, and even slightly toning up in between the shoulder blades and lengthening through the back of the neck. So mountain pose is sometimes just standing and relaxing, and that's the peak that you've chosen. Sometimes it is a little bit perkier, and you can actually stand here for a while, breathing in, breathing out, and allowing that summit or that peak to introduce itself to you. Perhaps it rises up through the arches of your feet, unwinding, spiraling up through the legs and the spine, and the top of the head. Perhaps you feel more of a side-to-side energy as the collarbones spread wide. When you're ready, inhale and let the arms come up overhead. Thread your fingers together, and we'll be taking 6 directions of the spine from standing. So you can still face the short edge of your mat. I've turned so that you can see what I'm up to here. Bend your knees, inhale and exhale, press up. And take a few breaths here, pressing up through the palms of the hands. Continue pedaling the feet or bending the knees one after the other. Just letting yourself kind of come into this little lateral dip, left and right. And then change the cross of the fingers. Press up again. And your gaze might be up at your hands. It might be straight out over the horizon or at the screen of your computer. And I've stepped my feet a little bit wider here. In fact, step your feet a little even extra wide. And as you press up, straighten the knees so that you're pressing down through the legs and pressing up through the palms of the hands. Inhale here, feel your back arch a little bit. And as you exhale, make a nice big circle with your arms. Bend your knees, tuck your tailbone, tuck your chin, and give yourself a hug. So this is a little bit like cat-cow. Inhale, reaching up, arch the back. Exhale, bend the knees, hug it in. Belly into spine. Inhale, reach. Exhale into a cat spine. Take a few of these and notice that, ensure that your shy arm gets on top a couple times as you hug in. And also as you do this, notice if as you hug, you're hugging high up on the shoulders. See what it's like to hug down low around your waist or maybe even down by your hips. You can hold in here if you want. Certainly the exhale facilitates this flexion in the spine, but you're allowed to inhale here and see what it's like as you shift the hands, again, maybe from hugging your shoulders or the waist or even the upper thighs. And if you enjoyed that exploration, make sure you check it out with the other arm on top. Exhaling, flexion, chin is tucked, tailbone's tucked, knees are bent. Notice where your hands naturally landed. And does it change the opening in the back body or even the ability to exhale and relax the shoulders away from your ears by shifting where the hug is? We'll finish up with an inhale and then exhale, arms down to the side. And we'll take a more significant lateral move now. So thread the fingers, flip the palms upwards again, and then take one foot and step it toward the other so that you've pulled yourself into a giant banana shape here. Your feet might be snuggled right up next to each other as you press the palms away. Notice how toning the belly facilitates your ability to reach up and out of the hips. Come back through center. So you might step the feet wide again, reset, hands on hips, thread the fingers up again, and then step the opposite foot in toward the other, just to give yourself, again, this feeling of security, strength in the lower body as you take a crescent banana to the other side. If you'd like to come through that again, static and hold, you may. Sometimes it's nice to step and reach and step through the middle and reach again. So there's a side body opening to the left and to the right. Notice where your breath wants to be. Exhaling for me into the crescent seems to facilitate coming off center a little bit because I can tone the core, which is what supports me as I reach up and over. And if you are moving side to side, go ahead and balance yourself out. And then roll the wrists as you come on down. Roll the shoulders, roll the neck, shake everything off. And so there's 4 directions of the spine. To take the rotation, use the seat of your chair or your blocks. Again, with the feet wide, set the blocks as if they were extensions of your arms, right? So you have a stack of block and then wrist, elbow, shoulder, so that you're able to have a flat back here. So we're not rounding into this. It's not a fold. This is going to be a rotation. So the feet are nice and wide. Press into the box. It's almost like a long-legged and long-armed table pose here. Now, move the left hand into the middle just a bit. Take the right hand, place it on your heart. Press down into the left hand. Roll your heart over to the side. Feel where your center is. Feel the rotation in the spine. And then from the heart, if you want to reach the other arm straight up, you can. So that arm energy is coming straight from the middle of your chest, down as much as it is up. The neck can be wherever it feels comfortable for you. A slightly kinder way to treat the neck is to have the gaze be down. You can experiment with rotating it up. Maybe the eyes peek up toward those fingers reaching. And then we'll come on down. So the left hand moves back, and now the right hand moves just a little bit into the center. Left hand on the heart, roll yourself over to the side, press down, Knees can be bent or straight. And then if you want, from the center of your heart, reach the left arm up as well. And again, the neck remains where it feels comfortable. Maybe your eyes peek toward that finger, reaching. And we'll take that again on either side with the option, if you are feeling dynamic today, that you could roll from one side to the other. If your peak is more static and you're feeling this reach and the rotation horizontally from tailbone out the crown of the head, then stay in the rotation. If you feel more like traveling through all the different hills and villages of the whole range, you're welcome to inhale and take the other side. Finish up so that you feel even on both sides, and we'll come up with a little bend in the knees. The weight of the body might come back a bit so that you can recruit strength in the legs and come on up. Pause here to see how you feel. And then we'll shake it off. And if you have any props on the mat, go ahead and move those. We're near the front of the mat now, and we will be moving into a sun salutation, but before we do that, we're taking an elevator breath. So inhale, paint your fingertips up as you inhale. And then exhale, paint your fingertips down as far as you like. Let the breath bring the elevator up with the inhale and exhale down. So the spine arches a little and it tucks a little. Go with the flow of your breath. And if you really like this sensation of the elevator traveling up, let your elevator with the peak of the inhale be right up there at the very peak, very top. And let your exhale time it so it's very much like finishing down at the bottom. Some of you might be nice and controlled and painting wonderful straight lines. It's also kind of fun to inhale and then exhale, bend the knees a lot and let the arms flow with the exhale. Breathing in and exhaling. We'll take two more like this. Inhale. Exhale. Finishing up with just a regular old breath. Notice any sensations swimming around, reorienting your balance. And then come on to the front of the mat. If you need your block or your chair, go ahead and find that so that as we move into inhaling and reaching up, you bring the floor to you. Exhale to fold. The blocks bring the floor to you, if that's helpful. Inhale, come up halfway with a nice little arched back. Exhale to fold again. And then press down into the feet in order to rise up, palms meeting down the midline with the exhale. We'll take that half salute 2 more times. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Use the blocks. Release the head. Inhale, arch the back, up halfway. Little tone here. Exhale, release. And then inhale to rise. Exhale, heart center. Third time here, inhaling to reach, exhaling to fold, inhale halfway up, And then exhale, step both feet to the back of the mat. 1 step, 2 steps, lots of steps. We'll meet in plank, high or low. Press the floor away from you. And then when you're ready, lower down. Come down all the way, forehead on the mat. And then inhale, roll the shoulders up and back. Come into a baby cobra. Exhale, heart leads as you come all the way down. Curl the toes. Inhale, lift the base of the rib cage up and back into down dog. And here's another potential peak place where we can meet. Breathing here. Pedal the feet if you want. Or just allow the breath itself to flow through the shape. The gaze is down towards your toes. Tailbone, happy dog, tail flip up in the back. Press the floor away from you, the base of the skull and the neck, loose and happy. And then we'll inhale to lift the heels and exhale to walk or hop, jump forward. Fold it in, and then press down to rise all the way up. Exhale down the midline, thumbs cross the brow, lips land on the heart. And we'll take this one more time, inhaling to reach, exhaling to fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, stepping back. As many steps as it takes, we will meet in your summit plank. You carry this plank within you, regardless of what it looks like on any given day. Lower down, bending the elbows, keeping them tucked in by the rib cage. Inhale, shoulders roll up. Send the toes back, baby cobra. Exhale, roll it down. Inhale, turn the toes under, press up and back to down dog. And you got it. We'll stick here for a breath or 2 or 3. Inhale, lift the heels. If you want to try to hop forward, inhale, lift the heels. Let your gaze go to the front of the mat and exhale, step, hop. Step in, hop, forward. Inhale to rise on up. Exhale, heart center. Let's turn Surya Namaskar into Surya Namaskar, A into B. Hands on hips. Swing your arms down and up into chair pose. So we do a reach down, bend the knees, weight in the heels, seat going back as if you are sitting in a chair, palms facing each other like you could clap, and then a little lift through the pinkies here. Holding strong in chair pose. Inhale, and then exhale into the fold here. Inhale, halfway up. And now exhale to step back to plank. Lower down. Inhale into baby cobra. Exhale down. Inhale, press back to down dog. Find your balance, and then inhale, let the right heel lift up a little bit, and exhale to get that right foot all the way forward to the front of the mat. We're coming up for warrior 1. So the right knee is bent, the left leg is straight and strong. The right hip maybe comes back toward the back of the mat, and the left hip maybe moves forward. Hold this warrior 1 for a breath, maybe 2. Inhale, exhale, arms come down and step the right foot back and we'll lower down again. So we come down, inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, roll it down, curl the toes under. Inhale, press back to down dog. Find yourself, right? Find the shape that's you. This time, inhale, the left heel reaches back and up a bit. And as you exhale, that helps get it forward more. Rise up with a warrior one stance. Warrior one, holding the shield, shining forward over that short front edge of your mat. And then find an inhale, exhale, coming down. The left foot steps back now, and we're going to lower down one more time. This will be our last one. Lower all the way down. Inhale, shoulders, elbows reach back. Cobra. Exhale, heart leads to lower. Inhale, press up and back, down dog. Now from here, we're coming to the front of the mat. So you could attempt this little hop situation again if you'd like. Or maybe you're already into that and you know exactly what to do and when to do it. If you want to give it a shot, inhale to lift your heels, a little bend in the knees. The gaze goes towards the front of the mat. Use the exhale to hop yourself forward. Relax, release the head, neck, and shoulders. And then press down, energy rising up through the legs, up through the crown of the head, fingertips. Exhale down the midline. Hold for just a moment here. Breathe in, breathe out. Notice how you're feeling, both physically and with any stories that you might be telling in your head. Just notice what they are. We don't need to be an editor in this moment. But then we'll shake it off. Shake it, shake it, shake it off. And I'd like to invite you to do some playing with tree today. So mountains, trees, we've got a lot of nature happening today. Vrikshasana, or tree pose, is familiar to many of you, so it can be fun to play with. If you'd like to have the seat of a chair or couch near you, your standing leg would be on the near side of your support. So if this is my chair, that's my standing leg. Go ahead, lift the heel of the turning leg, turn it out. Glue the sole of the foot in toward the ankle. If you want to leave your toe down, you can, but we are playing a bit. So you can experiment with lifting the sole of that foot up and maybe even bringing it up higher. You don't want to jam it into your knee. Sometimes people like to use their hand to help them kind of get it past that knee joint. So play around here. Find a shape that makes you happy. And arms might come up overhead. One option for play here is on the bent side, on the branch side. Let this arm come down and rest it right on the top of that thigh. Maybe the gaze goes down as well. Now, we know where attention goes, energy flows. So if you're moving your gaze, your whole nervous system has to rebalance. So there's a little tree play here on this side. Another option for play is to take this bent leg and set it, the ankle, on top of the standing thigh. Now, my standing thigh is bending quite a bit, so you can take this into a figure 4 with hands at heart center. and the gaze down, you might find it really helps your balance quite a bit. And there's a big opening on the right side. Just play around. The peak, the summit we carry within us. And come on out, shake that standing leg, give it a curl internally and externally. Come out when it's right for you. And we'll try the other side. So again, if you need a chair, it's on the same side as your standing leg. Lift the heel, rotate the leg out because this, all this abduction musculature here has to participate as you lift that foot up. And you might notice, like I notice, each side is really different. So my standing tree on this side is more of a sapling, I suppose. So let's just play. Let's see what happens if I try to let go of the ankle. All right, growing branches up. The first option was to bring the forearm onto the thigh and the gaze down the side body toward the fingers, resting on the top. And another idea is to start to bend that standing leg, take the ankle of the branch, set it on the thigh, hands coming to the heart, relaxing the shoulders down. Bend that standing leg as much as you see fit. You might even curl it in if you want. Let the tree come straight out of you. It just grows the way it grows today. We'll give that standing leg a break. Rolling it in and out. And we'll come back to the front of the mat. We're going to come down now using our vinyasa, which I talked about last week, to come down. So we use the sun salutation to elegantly come down. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to fold. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, fold, step back to plank. And then just go ahead and push straight back to down dog. Okay? Knees come down. Let your hips fall towards your heels. We'll come all the way down to child's pose. So we just use that half salute part of sun salutation to come down all the way down the mountain here in child's pose. Reach the arms away from you. A little wrist relief perhaps might be in order. Let your wrists stay on the mat, but the fingertips gently reach up for the sky. Pull the shoulders away from the ears, and then send the fingers back down to the mat with fingertips wide. Now you're welcome to stay here in child's pose if this feels right for you. If you'd like to inhale into the back body and come up into table, I will demonstrate another closing shape, which is coming through table. Put your elbows under your shoulders, but a little closer in, with hands together in prayer position and the forehead resting on your thumbs. So the legs are in a table position, hips over the knees. Elbows are under the shoulders, but in toward the center just a bit. Create a little tripod here to rest the back, to rest the forehead. Open and relaxed through the base of the skull and the back of the neck. I said a moment ago that we've come down the peak, but perhaps this is the start of a busy day for you. So here you might actually experience not just coming down, but support before action. Is there an intention you'd like to set as you breathe in and out? If you're still in child's pose, feel the soft belly in between the thighs. Maybe you have a nice wide-legged child. If you're here in this modified table, again, let the space of the forehead rest. Feel the pressure of your folded hands against the third eye. Absorb everything that you'll need for the rest of your day. You're welcome to linger here as long as you'd like or as long as you have time for. If you'd like to rise up and continue with other asana or other yoga shapes that you know of, you are also welcome to do that. If you'd like to join me with hands at heart center, you can do that as well. I'll close our practice by saying the light in me bows to the light in you, also known as Namaste. Thank you for your practice, and thank you for letting me be part of it. Have a great August.